But I think right now, starting five, for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's Quentin Snyder at the point. And then at the 2, I think you put VJ King and Ding Adele kind of interchangeable at the 2 and the 3. And then you go Ray Spalding at the 4 and Anis Mahmoud at the 5. And then after that, it's anybody's guess. Dwayne Sutton's now on scholarship. He's probably going to have an opportunity to get some minutes off the bench. You bring in some freshmen that could see some early playing time. Darius Perry, I think, depending on if they get Mark Allstork or not, Darius Perry's role is going to be a lot of it's going to have to do with if they get Allstork, because Perry, without Allstork, is going to have to play a lot because you just don't have a lot of guards. I mean, Ryan McMahon's going to be back. He may be the guy that you never, throughout his entire career, you really never know what you're going to get from him. We know he can shoot, but is he going to turn into a guy that can handle the ball and be more of just a guy that just gets wide open and knocks down threes occasionally? Now, I mentioned this earlier with Allstork. You tell him whatever you have to do to get him because you kind of need him now. Even without him, I think there's still a lot to like about this team. But with Mitchell gone, there's now more of a need for Mark Allstork. And as mentioned, you got to guarantee him a starting spot. Rick Pitino, you should do it. But I don't even know if you'd start him, because of those 5 guys I mentioned, who do you take out? Snyder has to start at the point because, frankly, he's the only point guard you have other than the freshman coming in. You don't want to stunt the growth of VJ King, and you need him to make a big step forward. If you've got him battling for playing time with a guy who's only here 1 year, I don't think that's the best scenario. And Ding Adele's going to be your best player. He has to be your best player in my mind. So you don't want to have him coming off the bench. And would Mark Allstork want to come somewhere where he's not starting? Now, coaches will tell you starting doesn't matter, but it does. Look at the box score after every game. The guys who start end up playing sometimes significantly more minutes. So I think you take him, but it's an interesting question to see how he fits, right? Because you know what he can do. He's a good shooter, got good size at 6'5", but who does he, where does he become like your sixth man on this team? Now, I guess there's a possibility if you really wanted to, you could go Quentin Snyder at the 1, VJ at the 2, Allstork at the 3, and Ding Adele at the 4, just because he's got some size, but I don't know if that's your best lineup. And then I guess you could put Mahmoud or Spalding at the center position. So I think this team could be really good. I just think now you have to wait. You now have to wait and see a lot more than you would have if Mitchell comes back.